The Thread on the Diamond. Chapter 1. Thus have I heard. At one time the awakened one was in the famous city, residing in the Prince's Grove, in the park of the man who gives to the helpless, along with a great assembly of monks, 1,250 in all. At mealtime the graced one put on his robe, picked up his bowl, and made his way into the great city of the famous city to beg for food within the city walls. After he had finished begging sequentially from door to door, he returned and ate his meal. Then he put away his robe and bowl, washed his feet, arranged his seat, and sat down. Chapter 2. From the midst of the great assembly, Elder Good One then arose from his seat, bared his right shoulder, and knelt with his right knee to the ground. With his hands joined together in respect, he addressed the awakened one, saying, "How extraordinary, graced one, is the manner in which myself, speaking of myself without ego, we can call it the Node, is skillfully mindful of the light-bearers, and skillfully instructs and cares for the light-bearers. Graced one, when good men and good women wish to develop the mind of perfected realization, how should their minds dwell? How should they pacify their minds?" The awakened one replied, "Excellent, excellent, good one, for it is just as you have said. The Node is skillfully mindful of the light-bearers, and skillfully instructs and cares for the light-bearers. Now listen carefully, because I will tell you. Good men and good women who wish to develop the mind of ultimate perfect awakening should dwell in this way, and should pacify their minds in this way. Just so, graced one. We are joyfully wishing to hear it." Chapter 3. The awakened one told Good One, "Great awakening beings should pacify their minds in this way. All different types of sentient beings, whether born from eggs, born from wombs, born from moisture, or born from transformation, having form or no form, having thought, no thought, or neither thought nor no thought, I will cause them all to become liberated and enter the extinguished state, with no remaining hint of existence. Yet when sentient beings have been liberated without measure, without number, and to no end, truly no sentient beings have been liberated. Why? Good one, a awakening being with a notion of a self, a notion of a person, a notion of a being, or a notion of a life, is not a awakening being." Chapter 4. Moreover, good one, light-bearers should not abide in sacred realities when practicing giving. This is called giving without abiding in form. This giving does not abide in sounds, scents, tastes, sensations, or sacred realities. Good one, light-bearers should practice giving in this way, not abiding in appearances. Why? If light-bearers do not abide in appearances in their practice of giving, then the merits of this are inconceivable in measure. Good one, what do you think? Is the space to the east conceivable in measure? Certainly not, graced one. Good one, what do you think? Is the space to the south, west, north, the four intermediary directions, or the zenith or nadir, conceivable in measure? Certainly not, graced one. Good one, for light-bearers who do not abide when practicing giving, the merits are also such as this, inconceivable in measure. Good one, light-bearers should only dwell in what is taught in this way. Chapter 5. Good one, what do you think? Can the Node be perceived by means of bodily marks? Certainly not, graced one. The Node cannot be perceived by means of bodily marks. Why? The bodily marks that the Node speaks of are not bodily marks. The awakened one told Good One, "Everything that has marks is deceptive and false. If all marks are not seen as marks, then this is perceiving the Node." Chapter 6. Good One addressed the awakened one, saying, "Graced One." Will there be sentient beings who are able to hear these words in this way, giving rise to true belief? The awakened one told to Good One, "Do not speak that way." After the extinction of the node, in the next 500 years, there will be those who maintain the precepts and cultivate merit, who will be able to hear these words and give rise to a mind of belief. Such beings have not just planted good roots with one awakened one, or with two awakened ones, or with 3, 4, or 5 awakened ones. They have already planted good roots with measureless millions of awakened ones to be able to hear these words and give rise to even a single thought of clean and clear belief. Good One, the node in each case knows this, and in each case perceives this, and these sentient beings thus attain immeasurable merit. Why? This is because these beings are holding no further notions of a self, notions of a person, notions of a being, or notions of a life. They are holding no notions of sacred realities and no notions of non-sacred realities. Why? If the minds of sentient beings grasp after appearances, then this is attachment to a self, a person, a being, and a life. If they grasp after notions of sacred realities, that is certainly attachment to a self, a person, a being, and a life. Why? When one grasps at non-sacred realities, then that is immediate attachment to a self, a person, a being, and a life. Therefore, you should neither grasp at sacred realities, nor should you grasp at non-sacred realities. Regarding this principle, the node frequently says, "You monks should know that the sacred reality I speak is like a raft. Even sacred realities should be relinquished, so how much more so the non-sacred realities?" Chapter 7. Good One, what do you think? Has the node obtained ultimate perfect awakening? Is there any sacred reality the node has spoken? Good One replied, "Thus do I explain the true meaning of the awakened one's teachings. There is no fixed sacred reality of ultimate perfect awakening, nor is there a fixed sacred reality the node can speak. Why? The node's exposition of the sacred reality can never be grasped or spoken, being neither sacred reality nor non-sacred reality. What is it then? All the good ones are distinguished by the unconditioned sacred reality. Chapter 8. Good One, what do you think? If someone filled the 3,000 great thousand worlds with these 7 precious jewels in the practice of giving, would such a person obtain many merits? Good One replied, "Very many, graced One. Why? Such merits do not have the nature of merits, and for this reason the node speaks of many merits. If someone accepts and maintains even as little as a 4-line song from within this thread, speaking it to others, then his or her merits will be even greater. Why? Good One, this is because all awakened ones, as well as the sacred realities of the ultimate perfect awakening of the awakened ones, emerge from this thread. Good One, what is called the awakened one sacred reality is not an awakened one sacred reality." Chapter 9. Good One, what do you think? Does a streamwalker have the thought, "I have obtained the fruit of a streamwalker"? Good One replied, "No, graced One. Why? Streamwalker refers to one who has entered the stream, yet there is nothing entered into. There is no entry into forms, sounds, scents, tastes, sensations, or sacred realities. Thus is one called a streamwalker. Good One, what do you think? Does a final passer have the thought, "I have obtained the fruit of a final passer"? Good One replied, "No, graced One. Why? Final passer refers to one who will return once more, yet there is nothing which leaves or returns. Thus is one called a final passer. Good One, what do you think? Does a non-returner have the thought, I have obtained the fruit of a non-returner? Good One replied, No, graced one. Why? Non-returner refers to one who will not return, yet there is nothing non-returning. Thus is one called a non-returner. Good One, what do you think? Does a worthy one have the thought, I have obtained the fruit of a worthy one? Good One replied, No, graced one. Why? There is truly no sacred reality which may be called a worthy one. Graced one, if a worthy one has the thought, I have attained the worthy one path, then this is a person attached to a self, a person, a being, and a life. Graced one, the awakened one, says that among worthy ones, I am the foremost in my practice of the total absorption of the non-conflict state, and am the foremost free of desire. However, graced one, I do not have the thought, I am a worthy one free of desire. If I were thinking this way, then the graced one would not speak of good one, the one who dwells in peace. It is because there is truly nothing dwelled in that he speaks of good one, the one who dwells in peace. Chapter 10. The awakened one addressed Good One, saying, What do you think? In the past, when the node was with Lightmaker Awakened One, was there any sacred reality obtained? No, graced one. When the node was with Lightmaker Awakened One, there was truly no sacred reality obtained. Good One, what do you think? Do light-bearers adorn Awakened One lands? No, graced one. Why? The adornments of Awakened One lands are not adornments, and are thus called adornments. Therefore, Good One, great awakening being should in this way give rise to a clear and pure mind, a mind not associated with abiding in form, a mind not associated with abiding in sounds, scents, tastes, sensations, or sacred realities, a mind not abiding in life. Good One, suppose a person had a body like the excellent Peak, king of mountains. Would this body be great? Good One replied, It would be extremely great, graced one. Why? The awakened one teaches that no body is the great body. Chapter 11. Good One, suppose each sand grain in the great flowing river contained its own great flowing river. What do you think? Would there be many grains of sand of the great flowing river? Good One said, There would be extremely many, graced one. The number of great flowing river alone would be countless, let alone their grains of sand. Good One, I will now tell you a truth. If a good man or good woman filled such a number of 3,000 great thousand worlds with the 7 precious jewels in the practice of giving, would he or she obtain many merits? Good One said, Extremely many, graced one. The awakened one told Good One, Just so, if good men and good women accept and maintain even a 4-line song from within this thread, speaking it to others, then the merits of this surpass the former merits. Chapter 12. Moreover, Good One, if one speaks even a 4-line song from within this thread, you should understand that this place is like the shrine of an awakened one. In every world, the higher beings, humans and anti-higher beings, should provide offerings to it. How much more so for those capable of accepting and maintaining the entire thread? Good One, you should know that this is a person with the highest and most exceptional, sacred reality. Wherever this thread dwells is the awakened one, or his honored disciple. Chapter 13. Good One asked the awakened one, graced one, By what name should we venerate and maintain this thread? The awakened one told Good One, This thread is called the Diamond Cutter Perfection of Wisdom, and by this name you should venerate and maintain it. Why is it called this? Good One, this perfection of wisdom spoken by the awakened one is not a perfection of wisdom. Good one, what do you think? Has the node actually spoken any sacred reality? Good one replied, Graced one, the node has not spoken. Good one, what do you think? Are there very many atoms contained in 3,000 great thousand worlds? Good one replied, There are extremely many, graced one. Good one, the atoms spoken of by the node are not atoms, and are thus called atoms. The worlds spoken of by the node are not worlds, and are thus called worlds. Good one, what do you think? Can the node be seen by means of the 32 marks? No, graced one, the node cannot be seen by means of the 32 marks. Why? The 32 marks that the node speaks of are not marks, and are thus called the 32 marks. Good one, suppose there were a good man or good woman who, in the practice of giving, gave his or her body away as many times as there are sand grains in the great flowing river. If there are people who accept and maintain even a 4-line song from within this thread, then the merits of this are far greater. Chapter 14. At that time, Good one, hearing this thread being spoken, profoundly understood its essential meaning and burst into tears. He addressed the awakened one, saying, How exceptional, graced one, is the awakened one, who thus speaks this profound thread. Since attaining the eye of perfection, I have never heard such a thread. Graced one, if there are again people who are able to hear this thread in this way, with a mind of clean and clear belief, giving rise to the true appearance, then this is a person with the most extraordinary merits. Graced one, the true appearance is not an appearance, and for this reason the node speaks of a true appearance. Graced one, being able to hear this thread in this way, I do not find it difficult to believe, understand, accept, and maintain it. However, in the next era, in the next 500 years, if there are sentient beings who are able to hear this thread and believe, understand, accept, and maintain it, then they will be most extraordinary. Why? This is because such a person has no notions of a self, notions of a person, notions of a being, or notions of a life. Why? The appearance of a self is not a true appearance. Appearances of a person, a being, and a life are also not true appearances. Those who have departed from all appearances are called awakened ones. The awakened one told Good one, In this way, in this way. If there are again people who are able to hear this thread and are not startled, terrified, or fearful, know that the existence of such a person is extremely rare. Why? Good one, this foremost perfection usher that the node speaks of is not a foremost perfection usher, and is thus called the foremost perfection usher. Good one, the perfection usher of resilience that the node speaks of is not a perfection usher of forbearance. Why? Good one, this is like in the past when my body was cut apart by the king of decline. There were no notions of a self, notions of a person, notions of a being, or notions of a life. In the past, when I was being hacked limb from limb, if there were notions of a self, notions of a person, notions of a being, or notions of a life, then I would have responded with hatred and anger. Remember also that I was the RSE of resilience for 500 lifetimes in the past. Over so many lifetimes, there were no notions of a self, notions of a person, notions of a being, or notions of a life. Therefore, good one, light-bearers should depart from all appearances in order to develop the mind of ultimate perfect awakening. They should give rise to a mind which does not dwell in form. They should give rise to a mind which does not dwell in sounds, scents, tastes, sensations, or sacred realities. They should give rise to a mind which does not dwell. If anything dwells in the mind, one should not dwell in it, and for this reason, the awakened one, says that the mind of a awakening being should not dwell in form when practicing giving. Good one, light bearers should give in this way because it benefits all sentient beings. The node teaches that all characteristics are not characteristics, and all sentient beings are not sentient beings. Good one, the node is one who speaks what is true, one who speaks what is real, one who speaks what is thus and is not a deceiver, or one who speaks to the contrary. Good one, the sacred reality attained by the node is neither substantial nor void. Good one, if the mind of a awakening being dwells in sacred realities when practicing giving, then this is like a person in darkness who is unable to see anything. However, if the mind of a awakening being does not dwell in sacred realities when practicing giving, then this is like a person who is able to see, for whom sunlight clearly illuminates the perception of various forms. Good one, in the next era, if there are good men or good women capable of accepting, maintaining, studying, and reciting this thread, then the node, by means of his awakened one wisdom, is always aware of them and always sees them. These people all obtain immeasurable, limitless merit. Chapter 15. Good one, suppose there were a good man or a good woman who, in the morning, gave his or her body away as many times as there are grains of sand in the great flowing river. Then, in the middle of the day, this person would also give his or her body away as many times as there are grains of sand in the great flowing river. Then, in the evening, this person would also give his or her body away as many times as there are grains of sand in the great flowing river. Suppose this giving continued for incalculable billions of eons. If there are people again who hear this thread with a mind of belief, without doubt, then the merits of these people surpass the former merits. How much more so for those who write, accept, maintain, study, recite, and explain it. Good one, to summarize, this thread has inconceivable, immeasurable, limitless merit. The node speaks it to send forth those in the great vehicle, to send forth those in the supreme vehicle. If there are people who are able to accept, maintain, study, recite, and explain this thread to others, then the node is always aware of them and always sees them. In this way, these people are carrying the ultimate perfect awakening of the node. Why? Good one, those who are happy with lesser teachings are attached to views of a self, views of a person, views of a being, and views of a life. They cannot hear, accept, maintain, study, recite, and explain it to others. Good one, in every place where this thread exists, the higher beings, humans, and anti-higher beings from every world should provide offerings. This place is a shrine to which everyone should respectfully make obeisance and circumambulate, adorning its resting place with flowers and incense. Chapter 16. Moreover, good one, suppose good men and good women accept, maintain, study, and recite this thread. If they are treated badly due to karma from a previous life that would make them fall onto evil paths, then from this treatment by others, their karma from previous lives will be eliminated in this lifetime, and they will attain ultimate perfect awakening. Good one, I remember in the past, innumerable, incalculable eons before Lightmaker, awakened one, being able to meet 84,000 countless multitudes of awakened ones, and providing offerings to honor them all without exception. Suppose someone in the next era is able to accept, maintain, study, and recite this thread. The merits of my offerings to all those awakened ones are, in comparison to the merits of this person, not even 1/100th as good. They are so vastly inferior that a comparison cannot be made. Good one, if there are good men and good women in the next era who accept, maintain, study, and recite this thread, and I were to fully explain all the merits attained, the minds of those listening could go mad with confusion, full of doubt and disbelief. Good one, understand that just as the meaning of this thread is inconceivable, its rewards of karma are also inconceivable. Chapter 17. At that time, Good One addressed the Awakened One, saying, Graced One, when good men and good women develop the mind of ultimate perfect awakening, how should their minds dwell? How should they pacify their minds? The Awakened One told Good One, Good men and good women develop ultimate perfect awakening by giving rise to a mind in this way. I will liberate all sentient beings. Yet when all sentient beings have been liberated, truly not even a single sentient being has been liberated. Why? Good one, a awakening being who has a notion of a self, a notion of a person, a notion of a being, or a notion of a life, is not a awakening being. Why is this so? Good one, there is actually no sacred reality of the development of ultimate perfect awakening. What do you think? When the node was with Lightmaker Awakened One, was there any sacred reality of the attainment of ultimate perfect awakening? No, Graced One, and thus do I explain the actual meaning of the Awakened One's teachings. When the Awakened One was with Lightmaker Awakened One, there was truly no sacred reality of the attainment of ultimate perfect awakening. The Awakened One said, in this way, Good One. There was no sacred reality of the node's attainment of ultimate perfect awakening. Good One, if there were a sacred reality of the node's attainment of ultimate perfect awakening, then Lightmaker Awakened One would not have given me the prediction. In the next era, you will become an Awakened One named Silent Sage. It is because there was no sacred reality of the attainment of ultimate perfect awakening that Lightmaker Awakened One gave me this prediction by saying, in the next era, you will become an Awakened One named Silent Sage. Why? Node denotes the suchness of sacred realities. Good One, if someone says, the node has attained ultimate perfect awakening, there is no sacred reality of an Awakened One's attainment of ultimate perfect awakening. Good One, the true attainment by the node of ultimate perfect awakening is neither substantial nor void, and for this reason the node says, all sacred realities are the Awakened One, sacred reality. Good One, all sacred realities spoken of are actually not all sacred realities, and are thus called all sacred realities. Good One, this is like the body of a person that is tall and great. Good One said, Graced One, the body of a person that the node speaks of, tall and great, is not a great body, and is thus called the great body. Good One, for light bearers, it is also such as this. If someone says, I will liberate and cross over innumerable sentient beings, then this is not one to be called a awakening being. Why? Good One, truly there is no sacred reality of a awakening being, and for this reason the Awakened One says, all sacred realities are not a self, a person, a being, or a life. Good One, if a awakening being says, I am adorning Awakened One lands, then this is not one to be called a awakening being. Why? The adornments of Awakened One lands spoken of by the node are not adornments, and are thus called adornments. Good One, if a awakening being has penetrating realization that sacred realities are without self, then the node says, this is a true awakening being. Chapter 18. Good One, what do you think? Does the node have the physical eye? In this way, Graced One, the node has the physical eye. Good One, what do you think? Does the node have the divine eye? In this way, Graced One, the node has the divine eye. Good One, what do you think? Does the node have the perfection eye? In this way, graced one, the node has the perfection I. Good one, what do you think? Does the node have the sacred reality I? In this way, graced one, the node has the sacred reality I. Good one, what do you think? Does the node have the awakened one I? In this way, graced one, the node has the awakened one I. Good one, what do you think? Regarding the sand grains of the great flowing river, does the awakened one speak of these grains of sand? In this way, graced one, the node speaks of these grains of sand. If there were as many great flowing river as there are sand grains in the great flowing river, and there were such awakened one world realms as there were sand grains in all those great flowing river, would their number be very many? It would be extremely many, graced one. The awakened one told good one, such a number of lands possess a multitude of sentient beings, and their minds are fully known by the node. Why? The minds that the node speaks of are not minds, and are thus called minds. Why is this so? Good one, past mind cannot be grasped, present mind cannot be grasped, and future mind cannot be grasped. Chapter 19. Good one, what do you think? If someone filled 3,000 great thousand worlds with these 7 precious jewels and gave them away in the practice of giving, would this person obtain many merits from such causes and conditions? In this way, graced one, from such causes and conditions, the merits of this person would be extremely many. Good one, if such merits truly existed, then the node would not say that many merits that are obtained. It is from the merits that are unconditioned that the node speaks of obtaining many merits. Chapter 20. Good one, what do you think? Can the node be seen by means of the perfected body of form? No, graced one, the node cannot be seen by means of the perfected body of form. Why? The perfected body of form that the node speaks of is itself not a perfected body of form, and is thus called the perfected body of form. Good one, what do you think? Can the node be seen by the perfection of all marks? No, graced one, the node cannot be seen by the perfection of all marks. Why? The perfection of marks that the node speaks of is itself not a perfection, and is thus called the perfection of marks. Chapter 21. Good one, do not say that it occurs to the node, I have a spoken sacred reality. Do not compose this thought. Why? If someone says, the node has a spoken sacred reality, then this is like slandering the awakened one, because my teachings have not been understood. Good one who speaks the sacred reality is unable to speak any sacred reality, and it is thus called speaking the sacred reality. At that time, living wisdom, good one, addressed the awakened one, saying, graced one, will there be sentient beings in the next era who will hear this spoken sacred reality and give rise to a mind of belief? The awakened one replied, good one, there will be neither sentient beings, nor will there not be sentient beings. Why? Good one, the sentient beings that the node speaks of are not sentient beings, and are thus called sentient beings. Chapter 22. Good one asked the awakened one, graced one, is the awakened one's attainment of ultimate perfect awakening actually without attainment? In this way, good one. With regard to my ultimate perfect awakening, there is not even the slightest sacred reality of ultimate perfect awakening, which may be grasped. Chapter 23. Moreover, good one, the equality of sacred realities that has nothing that is better or worse is called ultimate perfect awakening, and by means of no self, no person, no being, and no life, all pure sacred realities are cultivated and ultimate perfect awakening is attained. Good one, these pure sacred realities that the node speaks of are not pure sacred realities and are thus called pure sacred realities. Chapter 24. Good one, suppose 3,000 great thousand worlds all contained the excellent peak, king of mountains, and there were mountains such as this of the 7 precious jewels, given away by someone in the practice of giving. If someone has only a 4-line song from this perfection of wisdom thread, and accepts, maintains, studies, recites, and speaks it for others, then the merits of the other person are not even 1/100th as good. They are so vastly inferior that the two are incomparable. Chapter 25. Good one, what do you think? You should not say that it occurs to the node, I will cross over sentient beings. Good one, do not compose this thought. Why? Truly there are no sentient beings crossed over by the node. If there were sentient beings crossed over by the node, then there would be a self, a person, a being, and a life. The existence of a self that the node speaks of is not the existence of a self, but ordinary people believe it is a self. Good one, an ordinary person that the node speaks of is not an ordinary person. Chapter 26. Good one, what do you think? Can the node be observed by means of the 32 marks? Good one replied, in this way, with the 32 marks the node is to be observed. The awakened one said, Good one, if the node could be observed by means of the 32 marks, then a wheel-turner king would be a node. Good one addressed the awakened one, saying, Graced one, thus do I explain the meaning of what the awakened one has said. One should not observe the node by means of the 32 marks. At that time the graced one spoke a song, saying, If one perceives me in forms, if one listens for me in sounds, this person practices a deviant path and cannot see the node. Chapter 27. Good one, suppose you think, the node has not, from the perfection of characteristics, attained ultimate perfect awakening. Good one, do not compose the thought. The node has not, from the perfection of characteristics, attained ultimate perfect awakening. Good one, composing this thought, the one who is developing the mind of ultimate perfect awakening, is then speaking of the severance and annihilation of sacred realities. Do not compose this thought. Why? One who is developing the mind of ultimate perfect awakening does not speak of a characteristic of the severance and annihilation of sacred realities. Chapter 28. Good one, suppose a awakening being, in the practice of giving, filled as many world realms with the 7 precious jewels, as there are grains of sand in the great flowing river. If there is a person with the awareness that all sacred realities are without self and accomplishes their complete endurance, then this is superior, and the merits attained by this awakening being surpass those of the previous awakening being. Good one, the reason for this is that light-bearers do not receive merit. Good one addressed the awakened one, saying, Graced one, why do you say that light-bearers do not receive merit? Good one, for light-bearers to make merit, they should not greedily wish to acquire it, and therefore it is said that there is no merit received. Chapter 29. Good one, if someone says that the node comes, goes, sits, or lies down, then this person does not understand the meaning of my teachings. Why? The node is one who neither comes nor goes anywhere, and for this reason is called the node. Chapter 30. Good one, if a good man or good woman disintegrated 3,000 great thousand worlds into atoms, Would these atoms be very many in number? They would be extremely many, graced one. Why? If this multitude of atoms truly existed, then the awakened one would not speak of a multitude of atoms. Yet the awakened one does speak of a multitude of atoms, and therefore the multitude of atoms spoken of by the awakened one is not a multitude of atoms, and is thus called a multitude of atoms. Graced one, the 3,000 great thousand worlds that the node speaks of are not worlds, and are thus called worlds. Why? The existence of these worlds is like a single unified appearance. Why? The unified appearance that the node speaks of is not a unified appearance, and is thus called the unified appearance. Good one who is of the unified characteristic is unable to speak it, and yet ordinary people greedily wish to acquire it. Chapter 31. Good one, suppose someone says, the awakened one teaches views of a self, a person, a being, and a life. Good one, what do you think? Does this person understand the meaning of my teachings? No, graced one, this person does not understand the meaning of the node's teachings. Why? The views of a self, a person, a being, and a life that the graced one speaks of are not views of a self, a person, a being, or a life, and are thus called the views of a self, a person, a being, and a life. Good one, regarding all sacred realities, one who is developing the mind of ultimate perfect awakening should in this way know, in this way see, and in this way believe, not giving rise to notions of sacred realities. Good one, the true characteristic of sacred realities is not a characteristic of sacred realities, and is thus called the characteristic of sacred realities. Chapter 32. Good one, suppose someone filled immeasurable, innumerable worlds with these 7 precious jewels, and then gave these away in the practice of giving. If a good man or a good woman develops the mind of a awakening being and maintains this thread, even with as little as a 4-line song, and accepts, maintains, studies, recites, and explains it to others, then the merits of this surpass the others. How should one explain it? Without grasping at characteristics, in unmoving suchness. For what reason? All conditioned sacred realities are like dreams, illusions, bubbles, or shadows, like drops of dew, or like flashes of lightning. In this way should they be contemplated. After the awakened one had spoken this thread, then Elder Good One, along with all the monks, male and female, lay practitioners, male and female, and the higher beings, humans, and anti-higher beings from every world heard what the awakened one had said. With great joy they believed, accepted, and reverently practiced in accordance,